You're not stuck because you're lazy, you're stuck because you're drowning in mental noise that doesn't actually play a part in changing your body whatsoever. You're worried about things that don't really matter, and it's causing you unnecessary stress, which is leading you to give up and have to start over time and time again. Most people fail not because they don't work hard, but because they work hard on the wrong things and it doesn't give them results, so they get frustrated because they work very hard, but they don't get good enough results to equate the level of work that they're putting in. If you're micromanaging the scale, freaking out about every single calorie that you eat, constantly changing and tweaking the plan, you're going to get burnt out quickly, and you only have so much energy and discipline that you can put towards this journey. You want it to be put towards things that count. So I'm gonna go ahead and break everything down. So first, we're going to be going over why your own brain is making fat loss harder. When you focus on the wrong things and then you don't get a result, you start to experience friction because you feel like you're trying very hard, but nothing is changing in the way that you want it to, and so you feel frustrated. When you feel that frustration, you experience a lot of mental noise, constantly questioning yourself, not knowing if you're doing the right thing, and it's almost chipping away at your mental capacity, and you only have so much, which will then result to failure because you'll constantly be looking in the mirror, feeling body dysmorphia, maybe feeling a little bit of that insecurity that's paired when you're overweight or when you're unhappy with your body. Pairing that along with frustration tends to lead for a lot of people to give up. Your energy is then wasted on things that don't actually matter, and it causes you to feel overwhelmed. The real name of the game here in getting sustainable fat loss is clearing all that mental clutter and all that extra noise that is slowing you down in the process, because it doesn't actually make you any better. You're just worried about things that don't actually matter in the journey. And one thing about being successful in any realm of life, not just fitness, but anywhere, is removing all the clutter, keeping your physical space clean, keeping your mental slate clean, keeping your emotional slate clean, because when any of those start to pile up, you are not operating efficiently because it causes friction and maybe a little bit of frustration that can cause us to fail towards any of our goals, not just fitness goals. So first, I want to discuss why grinding harder is not going to be the answer to all of your problems. You need to put systems and mechanisms in place so that you have something that you can trust. People want to slam hard work on everything and think that they're just going to be magically where they want to be because they work really hard. There's no participation trophy. You have to adapt, become smarter, and use knowledge, science, reason to apply that to your work ethic so that you can get where you want to be. Just because you work hard doesn't mean you're guaranteed to get the results that you want. And I understand where people are coming from. Trying harder feels like the right thing to do. It makes you feel better about yourself. It makes you feel noble. But you reach a point where working harder isn't going to cut it anymore. You actually have to know what you're doing and be able to put that effort in the right channels or in the right direction or in the right mechanisms to get results. And here on the screen is an example of my client. His effort level did not change before working with me and then after working with me. All we did was apply better systems and put his effort towards things that actually mattered. Because it's not a doubt that people don't work hard. I have every belief that you have effort and that you work hard and that you want it. The fact of the matter is, you're directing that energy towards things that don't deserve any energy. So in this chart here, we're going to discuss what people tend to focus on, what actually matters, and how to move the needle in the right direction towards what actually matters. Micromanaging the scale weight daily. If you are trying to build your dream physique, it's not just a weight loss journey. It is body recompositioning to some degree. You are trying to increase your muscle mass and lose fat, not just lose weight. In order to do so, you need to manipulate your macronutrients, not just your calories. When you're increasing your muscle mass and decreasing your fat mass, that doesn't necessarily mean that the scale is going to drop how you would expect it. A lot of people think it's going to be rapid declines on the scale, when in reality, you're putting on muscle mass. Muscle doesn't weigh 0 pounds. It has weight too. Fat also has weight. We want to be losing fat and increasing muscle mass. So you will be increasing in that department, meaning the scale might not drop as much as you think. As well as the glycogen storages in your muscle, when fueling properly, will fill up at different times. So that can also cause fluctuation in the scale. You can't worry about the day-to-day differences so long as the composition improves over time, as well as the scale drops over time if you are on a major fat loss journey. And how do we do that? How do we achieve that? The easiest, simplest way that I can tell you is looking at your macronutrients. You want to manipulate the macronutrients within that calorie deficit to make sure you're retaining muscle mass and burning fat. Next, focusing on perfect, clean eating. Not a single one of my clients is perfect. I'm not perfect, and I wouldn't ever expect anyone to be perfect because we're all human. So sitting here trying to make every goddamn thing perfect is not going to get you anywhere except cause you exhaustion. So instead of being perfect in every realm, pick things that are important. So for example, consistently hitting protein and fiber. Now these goals can look different for every single person, but if you're trying to lose fat and build muscle, consistently hitting your protein and fiber will help you get those results. Now how do we do that? Have nutrient targets. Every single one of my clients has a protein goal and I handle their fiber for them, but for yourself, have a fiber goal and how you're going to achieve that every single day, and then figure out what protein goal you want to hit and make sure every single day you hit those marks. But that can help cut out some of the unnecessary noise of trying to be perfect and just focusing on, okay, I want to hit my protein and my fiber goals today and maintain a calorie deficit. Next, people worry about changing the workouts every single month, trying to shock the muscle, trying every new damn thing that they discover. What you really want to focus on is getting stronger, mastering progressive overload. The easiest way that I have come to find out of mastering progressive overload is picking one plan and sticking to it and then progressing the weights. That is how you master progressive overload. It's keeping every single thing that you can the same so that you can ensure, okay, I did incline bench press this week. Next week, I added 5 pounds to the same incline bench press. If we're doing incline bench press one week and then the next week we're doing Smith machine bench press, and then we're doing dumbbell incline bench press. They're all different factors for those exercises that could lead for you to be stronger. We don't want the reason that your weight is increasing every week to be because you chose a dumbbell this time instead of the Smith machine. And so how do we do so? Having a structured plan. Write down what you're going to do at the gym. Now, this is not rocket science, but you know how many people do not do it? Write down what you're doing when you go to the gym. For me and all my clients, we use an app, and in that app, it has all the data logs of all the weights that we've ever done so that we can ensure progressive overload is occurring. So be detailed. That's all this really is being more detailed and not winging everything that you do. Because if you actually want results, you can't wing it. And that's with not just fitness, but everything in life. If you truly want change, you can't just wing shit. Next is obsessing over fat burning foods. Oh, I heard this will burn fat and shed fat, and if I drink this lemon baking soda water, it will burn fat. 99% of people can burn a hell of a lot of fat by managing their stress and recovery. When we experience high stress and we don't recover properly, we can't train adequately, which means it's just going to slow our progress in terms of muscle development. And then we tend to make poor decisions with our nutrition because of the stress, the lack of sleep, and also it affects our hunger hormones. So we're hungrier and we get less full, and that's going to make it hard for anyone to adhere to nutrition. Next is having 10 different goals all at once. What is that saying where they say you're a jack of all trades but a master of none? You would rather be the master of one thing instead of trying to try everything. So instead of trying to do everything all at once, be clear and pick 1 to 2 goals that you want to work towards, achieve those, and then figure out the next 8. Next, we have tracking every tiny detail. The simpler you can make this, the more likely you'll be able to do it forever. That's the goal, because we want sustainable results. We don't want a get shredded quick scheme and then we gain 20 pounds back as soon as we stop. We want sustainable results, and we want results that we can keep for our entire life because we're working hard for these results. So the simpler that you can make it, the easier it's going to be to stick to it. Do not overcomplicate it. Keep it simple. Now, I said those last 3 all together because the way that we achieve those is through mechanisms and clear goals. Mechanisms, systems that you put in place so that when the going gets tough, you can turn your brain off and just follow the plan. That is why a lot of people fail. They don't build a clear, concise plan because they don't really know what they're doing. So when it does get stressful, when they do have a tough day, there's so much thinking that they have to do because they don't have a plan that they can't just show up and trust it. One thing that my clients say to me all the time is that it feels like they can just turn their brain off and go train and go do cardio and eat this. They don't have to think about it themselves because they know that I'm handling it. That's why it's important to build a good plan that you can trust so that when you do start to experience body dysmorphia or you start, doubting yourself, hey, this works. It's proven by science. I'm just in my head today. That's all you need to be able to understand to be able to move forward and eliminate that friction, because the more friction you experience, the more self-doubt that you experience, the more likely it's going to pile up and cause you to give up later down the line. At the end of the day, everything in life is a game. I'm trying to teach you the rules and make you a better player so you can get good results without having to put in so much effort and still enjoy your life. The real fix is not forcing yourself to burn out by working harder. It's understanding the why behind you do things. Why did I want to skip today? Why did I want to binge today? Why am I eating this food before I work out? Why am I eating this food before I go to bed? What is this food helping me do? It's allowing yourself to finally take control of a situation that controls you. It's allowing yourself to take control of your physique and the way that you look and your confidence so that when you go out, you don't feel confined or controlled by your appearance, but you feel confident in yourself for showing up. If you do not take control, your insecurities will always control you, whether it be in the way that you look, in the way that you think, in the way that you speak, in the things that you've done, whatever the case may be. So this is really just you taking control and taking charge. You have to understand what works and have a mechanism set in place so that you can live your life and do this on autopilot. So you don't always have to question if you're doing the right thing, if this is what you should be eating, if this is how you should be training. You don't want to be thinking that every day, because when you think that every day, you're going to give up. You're not going to be able to stick to it. And I'm saying that from personal experience as well as my clients that come to me and they just say that they don't want to have to worry about it anymore. And then down here on the screen, I have another example of my client who was already working hard, but came to me and said, hey, I feel like I'm working hard, but I'm not getting the results that I'm looking for. She didn't really know where to go. And so we applied mechanisms set in place that already adapted to her lifestyle to give her results while still allowing her to live the life that she lives and the life that she lived before we even met. And I just want to highlight the fact that her effort did not change between the 2 photos. She didn't work any harder to get better results. All we did was apply a better mechanism to what she was currently doing, and she put in the same amount of effort, yet got much better results. And the reason the majority of my clients see progress is not because I'm like, hey, here's your meal plan and here's your training. It's because we get rid of all the mental clutter that slows a majority of people down when doing this by themselves. It's important to have someone that's not up here, because up here sometimes you got a lot of chaos going on that ends up slowing you down. You need someone that doesn't have all the emotions that you feel, that doesn't experience all the insecurity. Someone who can look at it from a logical point of view and tell you that the plan is working and that you're on track. I don't want this to fool you. You probably do need to be a little bit more disciplined. You probably do struggle with accountability and you probably do self-sabotage, but those can all be symptoms of the fact that you're experiencing a lot of mental chaos, and every single day you wake up doubting yourself. Is this working? Am I doing the right thing? All those, hearing that every single day is going to lead for anybody to break. But the good thing about this is that symptoms can be cured when we look at the root problem. And also, these are traits that can be trained. So if you want to be more disciplined, there's a way to train that, similar to how you're in the gym and you're training to grow your chest, well, you can do the same thing with discipline. You can do the same thing with willpower. You can do the same thing with accountability. You can do the same thing with perseverance. It's all about training your mind and your body to give you the result that you're looking for, and conserving as much energy as possible by being efficient in where you direct that energy. Stop starting over and build a plan that you can trust, and focus on the things that I mentioned in this video that are important, and don't let those things that don't actually change anything slow you down. Build a plan that you know will get you results, because that is the only thing that will keep you consistent. Because if you feel like you are wasting your time, if you feel like you're putting in a lot of work and you feel like the results are not matching up, you will give up and you will burn out. If you're tired of wasting your energy and feeling stuck, you can keep grinding, or you can get what you came here for and finally be free from the noise. You guys know the coaching link is in the description of this video. If you are a good fit, I will personally be reaching out to you. I don't reach out to everyone because there's a specific person that I'm looking for that's my ideal client that I would think would be a good fit for me. So if that's you, I'll personally be reaching out. If you want to build a system that you can trust and that will actually get you results, I will link how I build my clients' plans right over here. I'll also link my Instagram in the description of this video. If you have any questions at all, hit me there and I will get back to you with a voice message. Also, if you've made it this far in the video, apologies for not posting for the last 2 weeks. I got sick and I was bedridden for the whole entire week, so I haven't even been training or doing any cardio, barely can stomach a meal down. But I just want to keep you guys updated and in the loop. As always, don't forget to do hard shit and be confident. But most importantly, do not forget how much I love you guys and how much I'm rooting for you. I will catch you guys in the next video.